What's up guys, Marty with Team Beige here. I haven't said that in a very long time. We are back with another video, and today I am bringing you guys my post Battles of Legend Terminal Revenge Yubel deck profile. So I've been gone for a bit, I fully acknowledge that. I'm sorry, I've gotten all the pleas for content, but we are back, especially as we're heading towards the NAWCQ. I know I'm going to Nats this year. I'm super excited about it, and so I'm testing like everything under the sun coming up to this Nats season here in the US. And one of the things I've definitely been keeping in mind is Yubel. I think Yubel is super fun. I think it's super cool, super strong. Phantom of Yubel is such a broken card. This deck, in my opinion, will change though within the next month, potentially with the Fiendsmith cards coming out in mid-July in Infinite Forbidden. But if you're like me and you want a deck that you can run maybe say in the next couple weeks at your locals, at a regional, maybe in your area, if there are even any at this point. I've lost track of if regionals are still going. Here's something for you to try. So this is my Yubel list. This is something I've been tinkering with. I've done like moderate amounts of play since I literally got my Phantoms today in the mail. But I have been like testing online and doing like some practice play on paper, at least with the deck. And so I've been kind of getting a good understanding of what this deck should look like. But then again, I'm no expert. Let me know what you guys think down below this list. But otherwise, let's get right into it. So to start things off, we're gonna start with the main deck as always. You guys know how it goes. We're gonna start with the best card in this deck, Nightmare Throne. 3 of it, followed by 1 Terraforming. This is the field spell for the Yubel archetype. Basically, on activation, you can either add a 0/0 Fiend monster and either add it to hand or destroy it. Usually, you can use this to search for any of your combo pieces to get your plays going, or to destroy a Spirit of Yubel, of which I'm actually playing 3 of. This has been like something I'm going to try. I don't know how confident I am about this, but the idea is, like, usually you play 2 of this because you don't want to break on it. It sometimes is a break if you don't have it into the grave. But what I'm going to try, I don't know how successful it is, but what I'm going to try is basically opening as many copies of Engine as possible to be able to then just turbo at Phantom per se. So this is what you can also destroy off Nightmare Throne immediately, which will then summon our copy of our regular Yubel. And that automatically is what you need for a Phantom of Yubel, because Phantom of Yubel requires you to shuffle back a Yubel monster and a 0/0 Fiend, and these both qualify as both of those things. So absolutely insane. These cards are broken. Also, Nightmare Throne says if a Yubel monster is destroyed on the field, you can add to hand a Yubel monster with a 1-star over or below the monster destroyed. So if you destroy, say, Spirit, you can either add to hand from your deck, grave, or I believe banishment, a copy of Terran Incarnate, and either add it to hand, or you add it to hand and then you special summon it. And then you can do it ignoring its summoning condition. So it's really good. It helps you extend. It's part of your main combo. The benefit also is usually you float from Yubel or Spirit of Yubel into Terra Incarnate, but also Phantom of Yubel is a 9. So if it happens to be destroyed in any way while it's on your field, you can actually float into Spirit or regular Yubel, which is kind of cool. And then for our so Nightmare Throne is our best starter in the deck. We played the 3 of it with the Terraforming, and then these are sort of like just engine requirements, especially the Terra Incarnate. Spirit of Yubel is a bit of consistency, but like I said, usually play it at 2. So playing at 3 is a bit new for me, and has been. We were playing 3 Samsara D Lotus. I apologize for the glare. This is also a 1-card starter, but it ends on slightly, I shouldn't say weaker of a combo, it just has less layers of interruption. It's still a really good combo if you open it. But it is one of the things, if you have Nightmare Throne, you usually search for this, or if you have your Dark Beckoning Beast, you normal the Beckoning Beast and summons Lotus as well. So it's just a part of your combo, super good. It also can be a form of interruption if you end on it with a Yubel monster. You summon it from the graveyard while you control Yubel. And then it basically says when a when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can tribute this card. The activated effect becomes destroy a Yubel monster in the field. So pretty cool, pretty cool. You don't, the end phase or that effect rarely comes up, but it's usually just a good starter. I am playing 3 Gruesome Gravescormer. I really like this card. It is a great extender. It's like, honestly, this and Nightmare Throne, I think, pushed the main deck into being very playable. This is just such a great extender. It's how you go into your Varudas. It's how you just extend into Yama, and just like so many things. If you control a fiend, you can special summon it from hand, and then you can destroy a Yubel monster you control. So if you have your Yubel on the field, regular Yubel right here, you can special summon the Gravescormer, and then you can destroy it to then summon your Terra Incarnate, which helps you like get basically card advantage value from your cards with, so it's not like your Yubel just isn't doing much. And then I'm playing 2 Nightmare Pain. This is the card that like kind of tends to brick. It's not my favorite card. It might even go to 1 with the new Fiendsmith cards, but 2 is fine because you really want something to set off Spirit of Yubel, especially I think since we're playing 3 in this list. Basically, on activation, you can destroy a dark monster in your hand or face of field, and if you do, add a Yubel or one card that mentions Yubel from your deck to your hand. This card cannot add Nightmare Throne, specifically because Nightmare Throne says a Yubel monster. Nightmare Pain requires you to add a card that specifically says Yubel on it. The rest of these cards do all say Yubel. It's just not Nightmare Throne. But yeah, I'm just playing 2, and then that's it for like the Yubel cards. I'm not playing Mature Chronicle or Eternal Favorite. I liked those like very early on, but I frankly don't think they're necessary. I really just want cards that aren't just going to be bricks. So that's it for like the Yubel like engine. And then sort of like the best, or like part of your like Fiend Link starters, we have 3 Dark Beckoning Beast, and then 3 Opening of the Spirit Gates. These are like great for consistency. They play into Droll a bit, which is like a little bit annoying. Like Droll tends to hurt this deck quite a bit, so if you can start Phantom to help play into Droll, that's kind of, or to help negate Droll, that's kind of great. I also was considering playing 1 Chaos Summoning Beast, and I might do it in the future. The idea behind this, and it's like very hit or miss whether or not people play this, but basically your Dark Beckoning Beast, when you normal summon it, you can add a Opening of the Spirit Gates from your deck to your hand, and then when you activate Opening of the Spirit Gates, you can add another Beckoning Beast to your hand, since it includes the Uriah Raviel Haman in its text. This just can't add itself, and this just happens to add this. But the idea behind the Chaos Summoning Beast is if you open the Spirit Gates, you can add your Beckoning Beast, and then Beckoning Beast, this is a hard once per turn for its activation. So the Beckoning Beast can add the Chaos Summoning Beast, and that gets you into your Yama. So it's like, it's still a 1-card combo, weirdly enough. Like, I think I've even seen like this, or I've seen this weirdly, or some like weird combination of those. That basically like make it so that everything is as close to a 1-card starter as possible. But I'm currently just sticking with this for now because I know people in my testing group have been like, but I've also been like, so we'll see. It's something to consider, but otherwise I think this is like fine. You like want this consistency engine. It's honestly like, this is just such a good engine. I love it in Unchained. Speaking of which, we are playing the Unchained engine. We are playing the 1 Shavara and 1 Chamber of the Unchained. I prefer Chamber just because it helps you layer your interruptions. That way you don't lose to things like Dark Ruler. You can like kind of play around evenly a little bit. But yeah, these are just like kind of standard. We've seen this in like recent Yubel lists, even pre-Phantom, and also with the Labyrinth Unchained. Like this is a very standard engine. I wouldn't play anything more. And next for the non-engine, that's kind of the benefit with this deck, is you can actually play a decent amount of non-engine. It kind of goes back and forth of whether it's like on consistency. The deck sometimes tends to struggle, but this is what I'm choosing to run. So I'm playing 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. It's just a really good card right now and will always be. 3 Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. This just has like kind of good coverage against Snake Eye, this deck, and also like weirdly enough Tenpai if you let it happen. But I think also it's including with some of the next 6 cards I'm about to show, easily kind of side out cards for matchups in which they're not as useful. 3 Effect Valor, just pretty standard right now. 3 Infinite Impermanence, like again, these are maybe like the 12 standard hand traps that you'd see in a lot of main decks right now. Maybe like Ghost Ogre takes place of Ghost Mourner, but I'm like pretty comfortable with these for now. And then round it up, I'm playing 3 Forbidden Droplet. I like Droplet in the main just as kind of like a board breaker, being able to dump pieces also into the graveyard. You have your continuous spells that you can then add from grave to hand with your opening of the Spirit Gates. It just lets you play with that manipulation a bit, and Droplet has some good coverage into a lot of matchups. So yeah, so that's it for the main deck. 40 cards. Let's hit the extra deck. For the extra deck, we have our 2 Phantom of Yubel. I am playing 2. Do I think you could play 3? You could. I just think you have to be a little bit picky with the extra deck. I think 2 is fine. I think 2 Phantom of Yubel is fine. If you want to play 3, sure. I think 3 does like come up, but I'm playing 2. Maybe if I do get the 3rd, I'll see. I'm not saying this because of budget reasons. I'm just saying like I think 2 is fine. For our XYZs, we are playing 1 Varutus. This is a part of your end board. It's just in the gate, and then it also can destroy a card in the field, which is really cool. And then it also destroys something when he dies. I'm playing 1 Typhon. I tend to kind of like Typhon in decks, just because like he comes up. I'm of the belief that, you know, like he may not always be the winning piece, or he may not always win you games, but when he comes up, and I like having him. He honestly, if anything, he's just going to then be a cut for the Fiendsmith engine. Which is also another thing to consider is when we do get the Fiendsmith engine, this extra deck becomes really tight, which is why I also think 2 Phantom is kind of like where you have to go. 1 Salamand Great Almirage. This comes up when you have to normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast and link it away to make your Spirit Gates live. 1 Muckraker. Everything is a fiend. That's pretty cool. 1 Cross Sheep. So that's the benefit with Phantom now, is that you can use Cross Sheep for extension to help go into like a lot deeper combos and just get stuff from grave, making full use of your card advantage. 1 SP Little Knight. This card's just so good. You need something to summon off of your Rage. 1 Dark. I really like using Dark in any deck that I can, just because Dark tends to come up, and I'm also playing Bestials on the side, and so being able to like take a Magnamute or something, yeah, Dark is just a good card, and I will always be on that hill. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. So it is a fiend that you can link away with if you use the Shavar effect, which is nice, but it's also board removal. And so like this deck can weirdly, like certain floods it kind of struggles with. Like Skill Drain you can side Skill Drain in this deck, but sometimes Skill Drain can be annoying going second, weirdly enough, because if you're like, you need it for your Beckoning Beast and whatever, it's almost like you have to use your like Squirmer or something. So yeah, so we're playing the Nightmare Phoenix. And then for the Unchained package, we are playing the 1 Yama and the 1 Rage. Pretty standard for like Fiend Link related just decks. I'm playing 1 Anguish and 1 Axis Code just kind of as a going second package. So that was also my issue right now with the this deck, was that you need this deck is great at going first. It is so good at going first uninterrupted. But sometimes it struggles going second. At least I've found with the, if you don't have these extra deck pieces, like the Anguish, the Axis Code, the Nightmare Phoenix, the SP, the Dark, they help you kind of just begin to break boards. And so it's also great. And then we're playing the 1 Apollousa to add to our end board. So that is it for the extra deck. Again, this will likely change once the Fiendsmith cards come out, if we decide that Fiendsmith is the best way to play Yubel, and it probably is. It really depends on if we get the Moon of the Closed Sky link. And then I'm going to show you guys a like side deck that I'm thinking about. I put like half thought into it. I can't say whether or not it's good or not, but this is all just kind of like theory. I'm playing 3 Bestials just because these have always just been kind of relevant with a lot of things in the metagame for the past couple months. With like, we've been using it against Snake Eye, we've been using it on Branded, which has like has always been around. And also like if Yubel's going to push itself into the metagame, like why not just use it on that as well? And also Melodious, which I know I've been a big fan of the Melodious deck the actually past couple months. I haven't been making any content on it, but I actually do really like Melodious a lot. So if you guys want to see my profile of that, let me know. But otherwise, yeah, 3 Bestials, I think these are good. And I think these will continue to be good into the NAWCQ. If not these, then maybe DD Crows. Just some things to be able to hit out the graveyard. 3 Droll and Lockbird. So this is kind of like a heads up. Well, I don't say it's heads up and like I'm the only one who saw this, but I just think in a future, looking at the future, I think Droll is gonna be really good, especially into this deck. Like this deck kind of folds to Droll like quite a bit, and so I think with Phantom, And if people are going to start splashing Phantom into decks, there was I think it was a Centurion deck that was using the Phantom package from the Niagara Regional. It hits that. Ritual Beast is also something that's starting to get popular. They search a lot, and so Droll, I think, is something that's just probably good to consider in the side deck. 3 Cosmic Cyclone to deal with just problem cards. It's also, I think Cosmic is also just a good card going first. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster just to get rid of pesky back row. And then for kind of like our going first cards, at least set going first cards, I have 2 Triple Tactics Talents just to like deal with pesky hand traps, and maybe you could even use these going second. Again, this is all just kind of theory. And then 3-dimensional barrier for like Tenpai, I guess. It's been kind of useful in the past couple months, but you can also use this against like Tenpai or Branded. If you like use your Phantom earlier or something, you can like kind of manipulate it in a way to which it works out. But D-Barrier is just overall a good card, so like why not play it? And yeah, that is it for the deck profile. Let me guys know what you think about this deck down below. I'm super excited to be playing it this like over the next, I mean, probably couple months. I think these cards are super cool and super strong. If you guys want to see a combo video, let me know down below. I'll try and make one because I am actually trying to learn a lot of these combos myself. So if there are combos that I think are good and that are for people to know, will be happy to make a video of them, or maybe even actually do like test hands, because maybe I think that is probably more beneficial since there are so many combo videos out there. But anyways, like, favorite, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.